Hello, today I'm going to sit and talk about something that I regard as rather serious, and it's one of these things that I have found very difficult to talk about before, and I've got tons of notes on this. I've been wanting to talk about this for so many years now, but today I just thought to myself, sod it, forget your notes, just sit and talk and see what happens. So here we go. First of all, I want to say that it's not my intention to upset or offend anybody, and if I do, I'm ever so sorry because it's not my intention. I just want to express kind of what's going on up here on certain stuff. So I've now been creating videos and posting stuff online for about 10 years now, and the majority of that content is focused on myself, or it's reactions to things in my life, or I talk about things that interest me, things like my disorder or programs I like. Just it's very focused around me, and I'm very aware of that. There's times where I've tried to branch out and it hasn't really worked, and to be honest, one of the main reasons why I started my channel was to document my life. So for me, I'm sort of staying on track by doing that. But the fact that I do focus primarily on myself, so to speak, sometimes it can come across very odd. And because I've been posting for so long, sometimes, yeah, I do run out of things to say, but there's also things that I don't talk about. Not just about my own life, things that happen behind the scenes that I don't share, but I don't talk about stuff that happens in the outside world. And I think that can sometimes come across very self-centered, like I literally am in a bubble, and I'm not. There's loads of stuff that has made me think or impacted my life or the lives of the people around me that I haven't shared, and not just the people in the other room, the people in the country I'm in, or the people in the world type stuff, both good and bad. And I'm talking about some of the really powerful stuff, like wars and millions of people dying because of one thing or another. There's loads of really dark and upsetting stuff that happens across the world that I haven't talked about. As a vlogger, you're sometimes in a very weird position of wanting to help or wanting to show support, but you want to get it right. You don't want to share the wrong information or give the wrong impression. There are one set of vloggers that I love, and they are fantastic at helping people and educating people, and they've told me so much stuff over the years. They've helped me become a better person in lots of ways, and that's Hank and John Green, the Vlog Brothers. They were one of the first YouTubers that I started watching like a decade ago, almost. Some of their videos I just sit and watch, and I'm just in awe of their intelligence, their creativity, and their passion as well. And the fact that they don't just stick to light-hearted topics, they do talk about some really dark stuff, or powerful stuff. But when it comes to me, yes, I'm coming back to myself, and I've tried to do things like that. I haven't felt as confident. I've got really, really nervous. In the same way when I try and talk about depression. Yes, depression and mental health have been a big part of my life, but when it comes to actually sitting down and talking about it, I can't do it. I freeze, or I stutter, or I record hours of footage that I never edit into anything. Fingers crossed this video goes up. I'm so nervous it's going to get lost in editing. But going back to world issues, it is important to address that stuff happens all over the world. Stuff is happening 24/7. It never stops. And I do recognise that there's stuff in the world that happens that doesn't necessarily impact me, but it is important and hurts people or helps people. Not everything in the world is bad, but yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff. There are times where I literally haven't said anything. I hate Twitter sometimes. It's a very difficult platform for me to use. I find it so tricky trying to just form my thoughts into limited character sentences. But yeah, there's just times where I just don't say anything. Sometimes we don't actually know something's happened. If we don't look at our devices or we don't turn on the telly, we just don't know. Today, for example, I've been in my room working and I've not really been on the internet, and I just looked and I saw that something's happened, and I didn't know. And then someone tweeted me to say, like, why haven't you said anything? Don't you care? And my answer was, I just didn't know. And there are other times where we just don't know what to say at all. There's some subject matters that are just so difficult to process. As human beings, there is only so much we can process. If I'm in a bad place mentally, or I'm coping with lots of battles and problems in my own life right now, it can be very difficult taking on the problems of others. And that sounds very selfish, but I guarantee you everybody at some point will feel that way. So I'm not saying that it's okay to completely close yourself off and don't care about anybody else, no. But what I'm saying is there is a limit to how much we can process. Sometimes I just find the news so difficult to watch because sometimes it's so biased. Other times it just literally focuses on the negatives and the pain and the agony that people are going through in the world. And whilst that's important, it's just so overwhelming to be constantly shown all this stuff that you can't necessarily have any impact on. Me sitting in my room right now, I can't help tons of people out there that are suffering. Even if I want to help them, I physically cannot help them. I hate being in that position when you see something or you know something's going on and you literally can't do anything. I hate that. So I guess my closing remarks on this is that yes, there is some very nasty stuff that's happening in the world right now, and just because people like myself don't respond or create vlogs on it or create stuff online, it doesn't mean we don't care. And if we do try and we don't do very well, it's not because we don't care either, it's because we're just finding it difficult to talk about the stuff. So my heart does go out to the people out there who are in pain or suffering right now, and I'm sorry I can't be more helpful. I am sorry if I've offended anybody by doing this, but I've needed to do this for such a long time, and I hope it's made sense. And I'm more than happy to continue the conversation downstairs in the comments section below. Okay, I'm now gonna go. I'll see you soon, everyone.